Hello and welcome to the first Astrology Embodied of 2026. We are excited to be here.
Yes, hello and welcome everyone. Happy 2026. That's wild and exciting. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to shake it up a little bit this year. We've been so predictable in our teachings over the past 3 years. And so this year we plan on incorporating astrology with, pagan, a little pagan in there, some full moon energies, new moon energies, depending on when the live happens. So, incorporating as many things as possible that align with astrology, but also add a little, just a different aspect to it. I also brought some moon cards because I know we're looking at like what we're stepping into for the year. So this is my favorite oracle deck that I use. Have you ever seen this one?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I also, not to promote this book just because I have no real reason to, other than this is where I started.
Me
And
too.
there's so many people that are like, I just want a book, a hard book. You can literally, so before the internet, just so everyone knows, you would go and find your chart information like this. You would look at your birthday, the year, you'd scroll down to your month, you'd highlight it. I'd spend hours at Barnes and Noble because this was not allowed in my house at the time. Hours of just like researching, and then I finally copped one and I hid it under my bed and I would highlight, and then I would have crushes or boyfriends and I'd highlight all their stuff and then I'd scratch it out like fuck this guy on to the next.
You
And
had your own decoder ring.
oh my god, seriously. But this book is like so monumental for me, and I just feel like there's so much good information. If you have any questions, this is the book that I always want to recommend. I feel like one of the things Julie and I are always teaching about astrology, which is very true. It is very mathematical. It's very much a mathematical equation, and we look at it that way and we teach that way in terms of helping you understand. But I think this year we are going to teach it as if it's a dance. We're going to throw a little art, a little more, poetry to it, and make it about a dance and a way that your chart flows together and how it all works together versus you're gonna die, you're smashed by an elephant, 12th house energy, that sort of thing, doom and gloom. The spicy is still going to be there, but it's going to be a little different. I'm not going to talk about burning down people's houses and things like that. I mean, I probably still will. Who are we kidding? But I'm definitely going to incorporate more of a spiritual aspect, more of a different things that are happening, and just kind of go that route. And I also have a little surprise for Julie because I missed her birthday because I am the crappiest person on the planet. So I wanted to
No.
gift you an archetype of your chart specifically to kind of use to go through because it's just fun. It's fun to hear about your
Yeah.
chart. And anyone out there who is listening, who's at that level where you're doing readings for your friends, like always keep in mind, or, doing it for a business or whatever, it doesn't just have to be your friends. Keep in mind that people really like to hear about themselves and they really do enjoy, it's just the natural nature of human nature. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's nice when you can see someone's chart and see the beauty in it. Also let them know that, you might be condescending at times. You might want to mention that to them, but in a very soft, light way that's generally good practice is to be honest and clear, but also, don't be so matter of fact. Again, it's a dance, it's a flow. I mean, there are so many things that can tell a story about a chart other than just the sun, the moon, the rising, and where it's placed. The degrees are critical. I'm going to touch on that a little bit today. I'm going to go into the degrees a little bit more, and that's how I am going to tell Julie's story, her archetype story.
How exciting.
I know. I am pretty excited about it. I don't know. Have you heard of, like, surely the Sabian symbol?
I'm
and
not
what
sure.
that is exactly. So it's really the critical points of the degree, and that plus your sign plus the house can really incorporate a story. And so
Okay.
that's kind of what I incorporated. And I went through, and so I use the app because I do get this question a lot. I use Time Passages because I just like it and it
Yeah.
gives so much information. And I went and looked on your chart because this is where I pulled all the things. And it had the funniest symbols. It had, so just for instance, I think it's your moon. Oh, your moon was very poetic. Your moon was very poetic. Your sun was the one that I was like, what? No, maybe it's your rising. Hold on. You had one about some chickens that I just died. Hold on. Chickens intoxicated is what your rising Sabian symbol means.
What? That sounds like my 30s.
Maybe. Leo at 21 degrees, awareness of higher realities while dealing with mundane ones.
Oh my God, that's so on point.
And I was like, chicken's intoxicated. That is entertaining. And I think we're missing something in astrology that you can find very entertaining. I mean, I do find, you know, a Scorpio sun and a Gemini moon sad but entertaining. Like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. And we can like play with this idea of someone very serious and, heavy, and someone who feels everything from just their sun energy to the complete opposite, chaotic moon nervousness of, it could be this beautiful, poetic Edgar Allan Poe type that has the words and the emotions. There's just so many dances and so many like beautiful things that could be someone dying in your background.
Dying? Oh, that's my boyfriend sneezing upstairs.
Oh, I always
It's
go to
like
bed.
our
I'm
house
like, is
is
your
made of
cat okay?
it's just like our house is made of cardboard.
Oh, nice. No, I really thought
Yeah.
someone was like, like,
Yeah,
bless
that's
you.
hilarious. And these are noise canceling headphones.
Dang, that was loud. I was like, should I check in? Everything good over there? My bad, guys. I totally derailed. But there are so many ways to look at a birth chart and see the art and the beauty in it. I think really sitting with Gigi and seeing all of Gigi is one of my like students that I kind of mentor, maybe not student, but someone that I'm mentoring and just kind of, teaching when I have the time. And it's like very like, this is, this angle and this is here. And I think that one of the things that we've missed in our teaching and just doing the lives is making it about a flow and a story. So your intoxicated chickens are, that's very aligning with, like I said, the awareness of higher realities while dealing with mundane ones. That is, something that I don't think I would have really dived into on your rising, but giving with that degree, that's just like something you have to deal with. That is a piece of you. And I've always known that your rising is fierce and it's bold. And I think that's what really makes you, I view you as like a strong woman, as someone who really takes charge and, makes shit shake. And I know that your Capricorn has that capability too, but your Leo energy from your rising really pushes that forward. And I will say a lot of things that you read about your rising is always, it's how the world views you. It's just a facade of your first impression. I believe a little differently. And through my studies, I think it's core your soul. I do think it is how you come across, because I think it's your initial soul reaction to things. And people may or may not hone in on that. And people generally, who you are appears first, unless you're just really hidden and it's very off in your chart. But which is possible. But that's something I teach a little different that I don't feel like most, especially modern day astrologers, really teach. They're just like, oh, this is how you appear to other people, and that's it. Like the moment you're born, to me, in my opinion, it is your soul. It is everything to your core, whereas your sun is more of your head and how you think and your ego. That aligns more. My intuitive nature, just I feel that that is truth. You'll read different things. You may find that you don't feel that way, but that is how I teach, and that is my internal belief of how the sun and the rising connect in your being. So, and then the moon, the emotional factor of all that, just kind of brings that together and really embodies the emotional depth of your being. So those three are the general, which we've talked about a lot. And so for some of you that may have not tuned in, your sun, ego, moon, emotions, and your rising is to the core of your soul. But we are going over Julie's. So now we're going to go into her Libra moon, 0 degrees. This one was beautiful and poetic. I did like this one. So your Siberian symbol is a butterfly made perfect by a dart through it.
Oh, wow, how dark.
I liked it though. I was like, that's so beautiful. And the summary is art over nature.
Okay. Wow.
So
Interesting.
I had to sit with that one. I had to sit with that for a minute because I was like, a butterfly, you think of being free and just like flowy. But man, that 0 degrees, if you really look at it degrees, it's brand new. It's almost like it's not there yet. It's not as flowy. It's not as free as it wants to be. It's got a dart right through it. And I think that Libra moons struggle in general. Anytime a Libra moon, it's not a horrible placement to have, but there are struggles there with indecisiveness and making decisions and really feeling not necessarily grounded, but feeling strong in your emotional being, especially when you have a 0 degree. And again, we haven't really gone into the degrees, but I can tell you that a 0 degree goes all the way up to 29. 0 is the very beginning. It is the start. It is the brand new. It is the baby phase of this moon phase going into a Libra. And then you're also in second house. So that brings a whole new dance to the equation. You have a Libra moon, someone who's soft, someone who's kind, honestly, a little sensitive, in a house where possessions and self-worth are truly embodied at a degree that is so critical that it's brand new. This is like a baby fawn stumbling through I would say, part of the chart that's really sensitive and has taken a lot of time to really grow into being final in their decisions, being strong in their, emotional being, finding themselves. And there's a hidden part. This is probably maybe too personal, but there's probably a hidden part that had to overcome all of these things through your life to really be comfortable and truly happy with who you are internally.
Yes.
And that is the story of it. That is the beauty of the story. Instead of saying, well, you've got this in the second house, this means you're going to struggle with this. Like, take the whole chart that you see it and turn it into a piece of a story. Capricorn sun. Now, what I just said about your moon and your embodiment, and then your Leo rising, will take your Capricorn sun, which is ruled by Saturn. It's harsh. It's nitty gritty. It gets down. It gets shit done. Sort of like your Leo moon, but with a lot more grit and a lot more determination. And sometimes that sun placement can hold you back because you're too stuck on making things happen, pushing things, like forcing it almost. You can't force it, you have to let it flow. And Capricorn sun, especially, luckily yours is in the 5th house, but it's a struggle.
Yes.
So seeing how that dance is done is very important. I'm going to go into your Sabian symbol with that one, because I think that one was a good one too. I don't know where these came from. I guess I should research more, but I stumbled upon them and I started going into the degrees because I wanted to start teaching a little more about the degrees. And I got some too that I'm just like, wow. Oh, this one was interesting. So the symbol is many toys in the children's ward of a hospital. And I was like, the fuck does that mean? It's almost like it's the commentary at the bottom of a screenshot of your picture. That's like how I envision it. And then it says the simple things of life as reflecting greater meaning. And so again, I had to sit with these. These weren't just things that I was like, oh, this makes sense. This is this. I had to sit with it and take your chart and your degree. So your sun is a Capricorn at 14 degrees in the 5th house. And it was like, okay, children, I think 5th house energy. So I was like, okay, trying to connect those dots. Simple things, Capricorns, like, they're not really simple, but 5th house energy can be. And that degree is what could be the missing part of like, okay, this equation is making it like you give to others, you show up and you want to teach and you want to grow people, and not necessarily children per se, but perhaps in the process, but grow and teach and just really find like the simple things that have great meaning. And I think that's everything you embody. I mean, you created the Academy of Logic and Light, you've pursued it, you've pushed it, and all of that, I think, with all your chart pushes you to do higher things and greater things. But your top 3, it's a beautiful story of how you've done that and how you've managed to pull in different things, try different things, work through different things, see what works, see what's not, and just embodying that. So that was my whole intoxicated chickens and toys and hospitals spill of your
That's so
symbols
crazy.
that I've never really dove into, but I do find them interesting and a lot of fun because I went through mine and I was like, this is so fun.
That's so interesting. Gigi wants to know, there it is, if you guys can go over Capricorn, Rising, Taurus, Sun, Aquarius, Moon. What's
Yeah,
her
absolutely.
archetype?
And I have Gigi's chart, so I
Oh,
can pull
yeah.
her chart. And hers is such a beautiful story. Gigi, I love you. I think you are so incredible. She is such a light. We will have Gigi. So this year we have decided to bring in some of our favorites, some people that I've been speaking with. They're like, yeah, I could probably do July. I have a few others. Gigi's going to come in a few times and just bring her energy. She's full of light. She's so knowledgeable. She's
Mm-hmm.
studying under Julie and I in different things, and she's absolutely fantastic. So you guys will love her. Gigi.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna pull up. And since we're on this whole symbol, Sabian symbol that I'm like right now, that's what I'm geeking out on. And I haven't, like I said, I only did Julie's because I wanted to gift that to you and give you that
Thank
kind
you.
of that fun little spill. Gigi, your sun in the 4th house, so it's 21 degrees stars in the 4th house. White dove over troubled waters. Again, very, very cool. The summary of that is bridging the gap of opposing points of view and peaceful resolutions. I'll let you sit with that. Again, a Taurus sun with an Aquarius moon and a Capricorn rising. I think of it, and I want to look at 4th house. I want to look at her moon. in the second house. So I would say Gigi, for yours, it really tells a story of a responsible child trying to maneuver through life in a way to be responsible and be present. But there's a dream world that carries you away and that you constantly go back and forth internally, externally. Do I do this? Should I be doing that? And the Taurus and Capricorn really ground you and they keep you to the earth and just so grounded. But that Aquarius moon lifts you and wants to explore, and emotionally, I mean, you could feel the drive internally. It drives you emotionally and really creates this artistic, very independent, free thinker. Basically, it would be your story, how I would tell it. So, very much earthy, practical. She's also got an Aries Mercury, which we're not doing the Mercury and all that right now, but that does add a whole new level of directness and quick and fast and cardinal energy. And I need to know right now, and a little lack of patience. But I think that's just such the beauty of your personality, because it's so like excited, like just talking to you gets me excited. I'm like, like we're doing this, we're excited. It's like you match the energy.
Yeah.
So, and we're polarities in Mercury, so that's pretty impressive. And then I will give you your ascendant symbol. A mountain pilgrimage. Am I saying that right? I'm illiterate, so it's fine. So yeah, there are a ton of these. I could go on these all day for everybody, and I know that everybody probably is still researching what that is because we've never really talked about it. But the degrees, the critical points, that's really where I'm tapping into this and why I'm even bringing this up. So what are your thoughts on just everything I just said? Like, what's your feedback on it?
Yeah, that was it was super interesting, and definitely like some of it like very timely for like kind of what's going on. I couldn't help but laugh when you were talking about the like the little deer that couldn't walk. I'm like, that's been me hobbling around all week.
Literally.
Yeah, I hurt my knees, so I've just kind of been stuck to put down. But I don't know. It's interesting because before all these lives, I always kind of like ask myself before I go to sleep, all right, like what am I going to talk about? What is the lesson that we want to like spread to other people? And I don't know, it was so interesting because I had this like whole like visualization of like a 0 degree Libra moon, about how precise of and balanced that is for like emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and like just being the epitome of how I want to be like a fair judge, a fair person in all of the things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a really beautiful moment. And then I tapped into my my Capricorn sun's been just kind of like ruminating of like things are about to get moving. Like we're on the precipice of a lot of like big change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can like feel it like preparing and telling me, all right, get your lifestyle in order. Like things are about to get going. And then I can hear like my Leo rising is like, all right, you should probably maybe do a skincare routine and try washing your hair.
Your hair, our beautiful mane.
You
Leo
know,
energy.
yeah, I was like, you feel better when you try.
I think
Just
you look
because,
beautiful. Your hair looks amazing.
yeah, because I had to do it.
Oh, you did it. Okay, I thought you were saying like you just haven't. I'm like, no, it looks like
No,
you would never.
I tapped into my Leo rising
Mm.
I tapped into my whole chart and I was like, all right, who is it that I want to be? And I was like, the best parts of all of my signs is a go-getter, someone who gets things done, that doesn't give up, and while looks good doing it, and that tries to always be just and fair.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And that is your archetype. That is everything that you are, your being. That's your story.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of people need to look at that, their chart, as not so mathematical, but you're a human living life, and you're going through different phases and different timings and different things. And your 20s look different than your 30s, and hopefully I hope your 30s are different than your 20s, but maybe you had an amazing 20s. Julie and I cannot relate. Scorpio, Saturn, Scorpio energy there. But your phases of your life should look different. They should change. They should be forever evolving. You should be growing. I had my first, I think I've said this on the live before. I've never felt judged by a Christian. I know you've had your kind of experience with your background and everything. I've never experienced judgment from somebody who I thought was a friend, or not even a friend, but an acquaintance that I true Christian. And so dealing with something even like that I've never dealt with, and all of a sudden it appears in my reality, and I have to digest how I'm feeling about this. Like, there's so many things that we go through in life and that's such a minor, something that doesn't matter. But I also think that anything that affects you or alters your mood does matter. Whether people are like, oh, that's not a big deal, get over it, or the little things are always important. They may not be as important as something major happening, but they're important. And I think that speaks into your chart. I have a lot of Virgo in there, I can be snippy about things or really bothered by things super quick. And that's part of who I am. And I'm always trying to grow that and evolve that and be the most evolved part of that sign and that part of me. But that takes work, and it takes a lot of effort. And your chart is your chart, but it's also a beautiful story. So
Mhm.
that's really the goal of this next year for us, for the academy. Like I said, we're going to bring different people on, but we're also going to encourage our listeners to like dive in, sit with what is happening. So two big things that are happening. We have a full moon in Leo coming up, ironically on Embolic Day.
Mhm.
So if you don't know what Embolic Day is, it is the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's midpoint. It's this whole idea that spring is coming, the light is coming, longer days are coming, the flowers are coming back to life, life is coming back. And so um, it is a celebration. I personally, I love to cook something Irish, some Irish food, light a candle, Embolic Day, first of the month. I'm also blowing my cinnamon through the door. I'm practicing some things that really matter to me, and those are things that I really like to incorporate. So I would love for our listeners to share like what they do for like the first of the month or full moon. A full moon in Leo is a big deal. It's the first full moon of the year, right?
Yeah.
Capricorn wasn't before. It was in December, or Cancer, not Capricorn. Sorry, the full moon in Cancer was in
January 3rd.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, I might be
Right?
wrong on that. This could be the
Yeah.
second full moon of the year.
The second full moon.
Okay. But still, it's a big one because Leo embodies strength and inner guidance, and it's ruled by the sun. And so it's magnified. It's like this is your time to really dive into like what you want for this year. Where do you want to grow? Where do you see yourselves? Journal, write it down, make a Pinterest board. I don't know what you're into, but do something to solidify it, and putting it on paper for me always works because I go back and I read. I love to go back and read my checklist that I'm like, I want to do this in the year. And it's like, wow, I did everything. It didn't happen how I thought it was going to happen. I'm never like, I'm going to get here because this step A, B, and C, because I've learned that never happens. I get there somehow, I write it down, and then I let the universe do its thing because I have found that is the easiest way to manifest. But So yeah, take this full moon. It's happening on the 1st?
Second.
2nd. She has the dates for the full moon. Like sit under it, appreciate what you have, get excited for the year, maybe tease your hair a little, give yourself some volume, because Leos love the mane, Julie hair. So yeah, just embody that and embrace that strength and boldness and expression. Like this is the time to get expressive, like be excited and and really just embody the full moon energy. Also releasing things that no longer serve you. If you feel, I know a lot of people go through things where they feel like they're too much for the people they're around. Like, work on just being yourself and not allowing to be pressed down by other people's opinions of you. That's a big deal. And I don't watch the news. I know there's a lot going on in the world. I know there's a lot. And I got called irresponsible the other day because I don't watch the news. But I just cannot take all the things of the world and have that in my inner mix for me personally. So, and I can only imagine the things that everyone is seeing, and that affects you. So I would definitely take time to meditate, sit and breathe and just know that it's all going to be okay. And even if mad chaos goes crazy, it's still going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. Like, one way or another, we're going to figure it out. So a whole spill of pagan and new moon or full moon energy. Did you want to add to the full moon? I know you do a lot of like full moon things.
I've kind of been in hibernation mode, so I'm kind of getting back into it. I was feeling of like redoing my like altars and resetting the grids of my house, and that's usually something I do like leading up to the moon. So it kind of feels like I'm getting called to maybe do some sort of magic. I don't know what it is yet. I have an idea, but usually I just kind of like follow my intuition and see where the night goes.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Trying to think of a big one. Neptune just went into Aries. I mean, that one alone, that one's palpable to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a shift.
Yeah.
And Pisces is exiting Saturn this month or February.
Saturn's exiting Pisces, so going also into Aries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I'm cautionary for sure.
I'm feeling anxiety.
I am getting my ducks in a row. So, yeah, it's that, I fuck around with Saturn. So,
yeah, no, that is.
I'm hoping that this might be my time to shine.
I do. I think that, and you have to think Aries, squares your sun, and it also is the opposition of your moon, but it trines your rising. That's nice. But it's one of those things that like there's a lot of growth in just knowing that those top 3 of yours. There's a lot of growth in this for you, and the transition of changing things up and shifting. And I think we're all going to experience a shift this year, one way or another. And I think that there's a lot of big things happening, but it's nothing to fear. Like, it's nothing to, I have a girlfriend who's constantly like, this is going to happen. And I'm like, you don't know that. I mean, you can speculate that, and you can sit with those, stories and narratives in your head, but until it really happens, like, it's causing yourself unnecessary stress
You're
and
worrying
anxiety.
about it twice.
Yeah. Worry about it when it happens, and then figure your shit out.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving to land 4 acres, and I'm about to become a farmer. So
I'm so excited for you.
I know. I'm sending off samples of the land to a lab to see if we can grow organically.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to be an organic farmer. But
God.
I mean, the shifts and things that are happening this year are incredibly wild. And I'm shuffling my cards here. I'm going to do a card pull for a vibe check for the year. And so these are moon cards. And so I'm just going to pull one and do a quick reading on it. New moon in Libra. A romantic cycle.
Oh.
So, I mean, with the year 2026, fall in love with it. Let the year be your romantic cycle. Let you fall in love with every experience, every obstacle, every single thing that comes to your horizon. Fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's like falling in love with the shitty things really seems like impossible and a really stupid thing to say. But if you understood the growth that you will happen after you overcome whatever that obstacle is, I think you would definitely understand and fall in love with the obstacle, whatever that may be. So that's what I'm going to say for 2026. Fall in love with it. It's a new moon in Libra. Love, balance, grace, justice. Be fair, be balanced. The world is chaotic. You internally don't have to be.
Yes.
So that's my tidbit for that. But I do have more notes here. I went through Embolic Day. We went through the sun, the moon, the rising as a, the sort of storyline. The degrees, definitely added that in there.
I do have something to add for Imbolc
Oh, yeah.
that I read or maybe
Yes.
watched on a TikTok.
I love it. I read it. It was TikTok.
Casually. I saw it was basically like where people put out pieces of fabric outside on Imbolc overnight so that it can be a cloth that's blessed by Brigitte. And they would use the what's it called? The ones who deliver babies. I can't think of the name. The midwives.
Midwives. Okay, yeah.
Would put a bunch of cloths out as they would deliver all the babies and bless him. And farmers would put out cloths and put them on their cows for a profitable, like an abundant year.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, so fun facts if you want to try a little something different.
I love that, and I also have been saying it wrong. I call it Embolic Day.
I think it only has one O in it, right?
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I've literally thought that, I don't know why I thought there was an I before the C my whole life. I mean, I've worshipped this day. I love Imbolc Day. It's gonna take me a while. But yeah, no, I've always added an I there. Guys, I've been telling you this. I'm pretty illiterate, but I thought there was an I there. So
it's funny too though, because like if you don't like go out and like see it and explore like a holiday with other people, you would never like see it really in writing.
yeah.
And then if you're the only one like really practicing, like who is gonna say it to you?
Yeah, I mean it's an internal thing. At my practice, I keep generally, not this year, but generally I keep pretty private. I don't put a lot of things out there, and I don't practice in groups. That's something that I've been like, researching.
Same.
Yeah, so my bad, guys. Thank you for clarifying. I'm like, wait, we're definitely saying it different. And wait, there's not an I there. It's me.
Maybe it's like, well, some people say Uranus, and then some say like Uranus. And
Uranus.
I've heard of another one. I can't remember. It was like a new one. I was like, oh, that's unique.
I say do what you want.
Yeah. Whatever.
Say it how you want. No. That's it. That was good. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm completely saying it wrong. But those are some fun things to do. I liked that. I feel like I've always just associated it with the spring is coming, and I get excited because I love the spring. The fall and the spring are my favorites. But so I think this year, in closing, because I don't have much more, that's kind of all that I've outlined for this teaching tonight. I really would say sit within, look at your top 3, start there and kind of paint out that story, that how it all plays out, and really sit with it and know that the year is going to bring amazing things. And, you know, you can look through your transits. I definitely suggest that, especially big ones. But I think with everything going on in the world, like, don't overthink it, don't overstress it, like, let it flow. For me, I don't totally look at mine often, but because I know how things shift and move, and how it's a flow. It's not so strict and this is how it's going to be. So keep that in mind when looking at your transits and looking at your chart and see what's transiting. And yeah, I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything they want to add.
Megan was watching today. We miss her and Gigi.
Oh, hi Megan. I love her. I hope she's she coming back.
I don't know. We need to go
Megan,
have
get back
coffee.
to us. I would love that. That would be so fun.
I know. We have so
Another
many
good
fun
vibe.
things to like talk about, and like I'm excited.
Yes.
And then for those of you watching, I believe the next live stream is February 2nd for the full moon, and that's with Charlene. There's my phone. DeVito on YouTube, and that'll be at, I think, at 8 p.m. And
Wait,
then
that's
the next full moon one.
Gotcha.
And then the one for you and me, I don't think we've set a date yet. Not to put you on the spot.
The 27th?
Oh wait, I have it. Yeah,
the 27th.
February 27th. Yes, at 7 p.m. we have another one, and I will have the posters out soon, which I'm excited about.
Yes. And let us know if there's things that you want us to incorporate or not. We are, like I said, we are adding different things that we want to really, add into the astrology aspect. Like I said, the pagan, the full moon, the chart as a story versus a mathematical equation, all the things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in next live, we definitely will go into more Venus, moon things, elements, relationship patterns, or just different ways that patterns show up in your chart. So that's always going to be fun to kind of go over.
Oh yeah. And that's like after Valentine's Day, of course.
Yes.
We're going to get the skitty on all of the Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So thank you everyone for watching. Gigi, Megan, thank you guys for your comments and your kindness. And yeah, we will see you guys next month.
Yay. Bye, guys.